Good for the staff, so I just have a couple of opening remarks and then I'll get to a very full speakers list. We passed the motion of Mr. Angus, and I wanted to advise the committee that we've already taken action in the sense of sending a request to Speaker Spotlight in regards to the documents. As well, we're working, we're relying on you to make sure that all of your witnesses are in by next Monday. And we will be reaching out to Frank Bayless as well, and anything else that's specifically embedded in the motion we'll take action on. So now we'll continue with the debate that we left off from the last meeting. And here's my list. Mr. Angus, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Gourde, Madam Goudreau, Mr. Workington, Madam Latanzio, Madam Shanahan, Mr. Fergus, Mr. Sorbera. Mr. Angus.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for clarifying that we are now, am I there? Hello? Thank you for clarifying that about getting our witness list in so we can actually get to work. I wanted to just speak briefly to Mr. Dong's motion. We have gone through 40 hours of obstruction of this committee. What that means, I think my Liberal colleagues need to really understand, is a poisoning of the relationship of this committee. You get elected by your party and your party sends you in to do certain stuff. Sometimes it's not all that tasteful, but you do it because you're a good, loyal foot soldier. But the only thing that gets you through your career in politics is your integrity. Your yes means yes and your no means no, as the nuns used to teach me in school. So when I see 40 hours of obstruction and interference in the work of the committee, something I've never seen before, and then we get, finally, the motion passed, and the committee is immediately hijacked by Mr. Dong, something else I've never ever seen before. And his reasoning he gives us is he's upset because he doesn't want to talk about this. And he says he's never had a motion passed, and Liberals haven't had any of their motions passed. So rather than letting our committee do the work that we need to do, we were filibustered by both Mr. Dong and Ms. Shanahan. And I mention this because I'm asking my Liberal colleagues, is that how you guys want to play? Because if it's about jumping the floor and getting motions to change subjects, we could make life a living hell. If you want scorched earth, it will be scorched earth. If your word means nothing, then for the opposition, then we have nothing to get from this committee other than our own agendas. Now, the last ethics committee I was on, we worked extremely well together. We put aside our agendas. We learned to listen to each other and work, and we did extraordinary work, and that work was recognized internationally. In the previous ethics committee, it was often a gong show. I mean, there was me and Dean Del Mastro on a daily basis going at it. But the work of the committee was never interfered with. It was never monkey wrenched by the antics that I've seen from the Liberals. When things got bad with Dean Del Mastro and me, the whips came down and we got things sorted out because the committee always had to function. But now we see that this committee is in a position where the Liberals want to make it not possible to function. So in terms of Mr. Dong's debate and motion, I find it really irregular. I think it's really a cheap tactic to stop us from getting the basic work done on a committee study. So I move to adjourn debate on Mr. Dong's motion.
Okay, this is a dilatory motion, so I'll hand it over to the clerk for a vote.
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah,
Not debatable.
Go ahead, Mr. Dong. You
Not
can
debatable.
go on a point.
Thank you, Chair. I hear a little bit of echo there, but I'll do my best. I'm okay with. I listened to Mr. Angus's debate on the motion I put forward.
Point d'ordre, Monsieur le Président.
Point of order.
Madam Goudreau, is it on a technical issue, or you're not getting translation?
Il y avait un peu d'écho.
Well, there's a bit of an echo. And since Mr. Dong has taken the floor, it's gone from bad to worse. We are hearing both the floor and what is being said of the MP on top of the interpreters. I'm hearing multiple voices all at once. Unbelievable.
IT team to work on it. Mr. Dong, just can you conclude your remarks, please?
Sure, I'll be very quick. I just want to say that I want to show my respect to allow Mr. Angus to finish his remarks today, but the content of his debate today I find it very offensive.
It's not debatable. This is
I'm
not
not
debatable. We're going to a vote.
Chair,
It's not debatable.
do I have the?
We
do I
go
have
to
the
a vote.
Yeah,
Do I have
but
the floor?
Mr. Dong, I actually took.
I'll be
quite
very
a bit of-
concise. I only spoke for 20 seconds.
Hang on just a
and
second,
I've been
please.
interrupted already.
It's not debatable.
Please just chill a bit. I've already taken the liberty, generally speaking, when a motion is moved and I've advised the clerk to take the vote, then there's no other interruption of business. So I thought you were going to have a brief comment, and I will give you 20 more seconds, and then we need to get to the vote.
Thank you, Chair. I don't want to take any more time. Just check the blues of the last meeting. How long Mr. Angus used to
This is
debate
debate.
and how long I
This is
used. And I just
debate.
find it very
This is
disrespectful
interrupting
and
our vote. He's
contra-
interrupted our meetings. This is
I've
interrupting
been
our vote.
constantly interrupted by Mr.
He is
Angus, and I
interrupting
just
a vote. He has no
I
right
just want to
to
tell
do
you,
this.
don't
We have a
bully
vote.
anybody
We
on
need
the
to-
committee, please.
He
We are
needs to show
respectful
respect
members.
to our committee.
Yes,
Okay.
let's do that. Okay.
Let's get to a vote.
Madam Clerk?
On the motion that debate be now adjourned, please say yay if you're in favor, nay if you're opposed when I call your name. Mr. Dong? Mr. Dong?
Is this the vote on my motion or vote to adjourn the debate?
To adjourn the debate.
I vote against.
Mr. Fergus?
Je vote contre.
Ms. Latancio?
Against.
Ms. Shanahan?
Against.
Mr. Sorbera?
Contra.
Mr. Kelly?
In favor.
Monsieur Gould?
Je vote pour.
Mr. Workington?
I vote for.
Madame Gaudreau?
Je vote pour.
Mr. Angus?
I vote to adjourn.
4 pour, 5 against, contre, 5.
I'll vote for the motion. Okay, we'll move on to Mr. Kelly.
Thank you very much. I move that the committee now resume its scheduling and planning for the questions of conflict of interest and lobbying in relation to the pandemic spending study.
To be clear, Mr. Kelly, you're talking about Mr. Angus's motion?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right, colleagues. Yes, yeah. All right, colleagues, the motion to move to the next order of business, and I'll turn it over to the clerk again.
Chair, point of order.
Well, we're going to a vote, Madam Shanahan.
vote.
Is it a technical question in regards
That's what I wanted to clarify, whether we could speak to this motion.
No, it's a dilatory motion to move to the business of Mr. Angus's motion.
All those in favor, please say yay. Those opposed, please say nay when I call your name. Mr. Dong?
I vote against.
Mr. Fergus?
Je suis contre.
Ms. Latanzio?
Contre.
Madame Shanahan?
Contre.
Mr. Sorbera?
Je suis contre.
Mr. Kelly?
In favor.
Monsieur Gould. Oh, Sourdine.
Je suis pour.
Mr. Workington.
I vote in favor.
Madame Gaudreau.
Oui.
Mr. Angus.
I vote in favor.
Yeas pour 5, nays contre 5.
Okay, I'll vote for the motion. Madam Goodrow, you're the next on the speaking list. Right now, it is 1:14, but we already had scheduled to deal with the work plan of Mr. Angus. So with this in mind, we already have the ability to move into camera now. We'll move into camera and we'll deal with that business of that motion presently, okay? So we'll need to suspend for about 10 minutes. Yeah, so you should have received a separate, it's a different password, is it a different link as well? Okay, so you should have received a different link and password in regards to in the in-camera meeting. And you'll need to log out of this meeting and then log back in to the in-camera. Of course, it'll take some time for everybody to do that, and we suspect it'll probably take about 10 to 15 minutes for that to happen.
Chair, can you be specific then, 10 or 15 minutes?
No, I can't.
That we resume?
There would be no way because put it this way, I won't come back into session before everybody's on. I mean, I just think it'll probably take 10 to 15 minutes by the time the IT team, as well as everybody logging off and logging back on. That's about how long it usually takes.
Yeah, and Chair, if you could, when we come back in, talk about the getting on the speakers list as well, because that seems to be very flu.
I think you said fluid?
Flu en français, but that people are getting on the list before you gavel in. That's because it'll be a separate meeting.
Sure, I will definitely speak to that. The whole place was full before I gavelled in today. So, okay. So we'll suspend and come back.